Good morning, everyone. Hope you all are fit and fine. Dear students, today we will discuss chapter number 11 linkers, taken from our English practice book. Students, a sentence linker, or we can say a conjunction, is a word which connects words, phrases, clauses, or sentences, and at the same time brings about relationship between the elements thus join. So students, some major conjunctions are but, unless, therefore, otherwise, when, while, however, since, because, though, although, then or, whether, if. These all are conjunctions. Now, Peter, let's start with the worksheet number 1 and try to understand use of linkers. In the paragraph below, some words have been omitted. The words are written on the right opposite the line they belong to. Now find the correct place. Okay, beta, what you have to do? Find the correct place to insert each of the words. कि कहाँ पर आपको word को insert करना है? Find that place. Okay. Mark the place with a slash, then put a slash there and write the word on top. And after that, write the word on top. One has been done as an example. For example, Peter, Moti Kuch and Jisa were good friends. After Moti Kuch, Peter, put a slash and write the word and on the chalk. Okay, Moti Kuch and Jisa were good friends. Moti Kuch, which means the pearl elephant, was the absolute property of his Mahat Jisa. Moti Kuch was the best of all elephants. But then put a slash, okay, and write down the word there. Moti Kuch was the best of all elephants, but Jisa was a foolish drunkard. He would get extremely drunk when he had made enough money through the strength of his elephant. He would then beat Moti Kuch. However, the elephant was very patient. He would never lose his temper because he knew that Disa would embrace his trunk and weep after he had beaten him. Now, students, the words on the right, like and, which, but, when, then, however, because, after, because these all are linkers. ये सभी क्या हैं? Linkers. And students, remember, a word which joins sentences or clauses is called a linkers, and linkers also show how ideas are related. Let's move on to the worksheet number 2. Work with your partner. Look at the linkers in the box below. Each linker expresses a meaning. Write each linker in the appropriate column in the table that follows. Some have been done as examples. For example, in this box, some linkers are given to you. These are major linkers, students, like but, since, while, when, though, then, after, therefore, because, however, as, so that, although, whereas. These all are linkers. Now, beta, आपको क्या करना है? Write each linker in the appropriate column. Okay, write each linker in the appropriate column in the table that follows. For example, students, we can write down in this table linkers of contrast. Contrast के लिए बेटा हम कौन से linkers use कर सकते हैं? However, whereas, while, though, although, but. Okay, these linkers we can use for contrast. Now, students, for reason, cause और result के लिए हम write कर सकते हैं because, therefore, so that. Okay, then students, for time we can write down like when, after, before. Okay, then students, for comparison we can write down like this, then, THAN. Okay, then, as. Like this, students, try to write each linker in the appropriate column in the table that follows and complete worksheet number 2. Now, beta, let's move on to the worksheet number 3. Mrs. Paul is quite fed up with the contrasting habits and tastes of her children Lynn and Shrey. One day, she prepares a table to check what their habits and tastes are really like. And this is what the chart reads. So students, look at this chart carefully, and then students try to find out the difference, and after that students complete Mrs. Paul's diary entry by filling the blanks with appropriate linkers of contrast. And better remember, do not use one linker more than once. So students, how can we complete this worksheet? I wonder if every family has kids with such startlingly different habits and tastes as my kids have. When it comes to food, Lynn is so fond of Indian food, whereas Shrey will have anything but that. Of course, boys and girls do differ in their hobbies and tastes for music, reading, etc. For instance, Shrey is a very keen football player, but Lynn prefers to spend time painting. Lynn loves reading comics, while Shrey has a wide collection of adventure stories. However, Shreya is not particular about clothes. Okay? However, Shreya is not particular about clothes. He is like Lynn. When it comes to formal occasions, he doesn't agree to wear formals. And when it comes to outings, Lynn looks forward to going to movies or picnics, though Shrey prefers to be with his friends. Like this, students try to complete this worksheet. Okay, use linkers of contrast and complete this worksheet. Now, beta, let's move on to the worksheet number 4. Look at the pairs of pictures given below and write at least one sentence about each, drawing comparison between each pair of pictures, and one has been done as an example. You students look at these pictures carefully, and then students write sentences using linkers of comparison, and for that students use linkers than, than, and as for comparison. So students, how can we frame sentences? Like students, a bicycle is more eco-friendly than a car. Then students, you can write down a car is faster than a bicycle. A bicycle is not as expensive as a car. After that students, you can write down like this. TV is more entertaining than tape recorder, or you can write down TV is more entertaining than radio. Radio is more popular than TV, or you can write down TV is more popular than radio. Okay, as you wish to this, you can write down sentences here, but students don't forget to use linkers of comparison. Okay, beta. Now, students, let's move on to the worksheet number 5 and find out the odd man out. Work with your partner. Look at the groups of words, each of which contains an odd man out. Write down the word which you think is the odd man out and write the reason why it is odd. Now use different linkers to give your reason. One has been done as an example. For example, student, first one, horse, cow, mouse, knife, lion. Now students, it's very easy to find out the odd man. It's knife. Now students, why? What's the reason behind it? Because beta, knife is a thing. Okay, knife is a thing, whereas the others are animals. Like this students, next one you can write down like this. June, January, March, Spring, May. The students, odd man out is spring. Okay, why beta? Spring is a season, whereas others are names of months. Then plate, bean, soup, sandwich, apple. Here, plate is odd man out. It's not an eatable. Okay, like this students, try to complete worksheet number 5. Now students, let's move forward the worksheet number 6. Read the paragraph below, fill in the blanks with appropriate linkers indicating time. The children had been enjoying the bright sunshine on the beach. Then, all of a sudden, it became very cloudy and dark. After about 15 minutes, it began to thunder. When they looked up, they could see lightning in the sky, and this was quite unexpected. It had been sunny since the work began, and there were no signs of rain. Frightened, they all rushed towards their school bus, and they felt safe after they had gone inside. Here, students try to use linkers of time. In worksheet 7, also students complete it by using linkers of time. Look at the map below here and imagine you are Sheetal who lives in house number 13 on Park Avenue Street. Your friend is at the post office in your locality. She calls you up to ask for instructions to reach your house. Now complete the following instructions that you gave her by filling in the blanks with suitable linkers of time. Here also students you have to complete this exercise with the linkers of time. For example, beta, how can we complete? Reaching my house is quite simple. Step onto the Banco Street and look straight ahead. You will see the Rose Lane. Now cross the Banker Street and walk along the Rose Lane. After you have walked about 100 yards, you will reach a crossing. When you reach the crossing, turn right. Keep walking ahead even after you cross the bank on your right. Walk about 50 yards. Then you will notice a row of houses on the left, and house number 13 is mine. Like this, students, try to complete worksheet number 7. Imagine the editor of your school magazine has asked you to write an article for the school magazine on the topic teenagers, their habits and hobbies. You have made a survey and collected the following data. Now, based on the data, write an article comparing and contrasting the habits and preferences that exist among teenage boys and girls and give reasons for their choice. Now students, here you have to write an article and beta try to use linkers of comparison and contrast while writing this article. And students, you can write this article on the basis of the data which you have collected after that survey. Now students, worksheet number 9, read the following sentences and note the use of the comma. Like, I bought a fat feathery parrot. I made a big, then comma, brown mountain. Now students, we all know that commas are placed between two adjectives when they describe the same noun, and the word and, okay, the word and can be put between the adjectives without changing the meaning. And better remember this thing, that do not use a comma between two adjectives if the second adjective, अगर बेटा आपका second वाला adjective and the noun go together as if they were one item, जब वो one item को show कर रहे हैं. For example, mom made a chocolate birthday cake. Now बेटा, if you put and between chocolate and birthday, means अगर आप ये write करते हो mom made a chocolate and birthday cake, then beta it does not sound right. Okay, then remember beta, do not use a comma between two adjectives if the second adjective and the noun go together as if they were one item. Now students, in the sentences given below, place a comma where it is required. Remember, where it is required, there you have to place a comma. For example, students, how can we write? In the very first sentence, we can write down a comma after adjective. Like, Shelly is an adorable, then put a comma here, okay. Cute kid. Shelly is an adorable, or we can write down an cute kid. The students, like this, the children admire grandpa's gentle, then comma, then patient, then again comma, forgiving attitude. Okay, like this students, you can complete this worksheet also. Put comma where it is required. Now students, let's move on to the do it yourself part. The following passage is incomplete. Fill in the blanks to make meaningful sentences. One has been done for you. Here students, complete this worksheet. Okay, complete this worksheet yourself and use linkers here to complete this worksheet. For example, students, how can we write? Saransh was nervous because he knew he was in trouble. He wished for a way out, but there was not any. When the school was over, he had stayed back in the computer lab to play games. He had lied to the lab assistant that he had the teacher's permission. However, the teacher had told him to leave for home immediately. And when the lab assistant discovered his lie, he reported the matter to the principal. Like this, students, read this worksheet and try to complete it. Okay, try to complete it by using linkers. The students, in worksheet number 2 here, in the following passage, there is one word missing in each line. Put a slash where you think the word is missing and write the missing word in the space provided. One has been done as an example. Yes students, here you have to put a slash. Okay, आपको यहाँ पर एक slash put करना है wherever the word is missing, जहाँ से भी कोई word missing है. And after that students, write down the correct answer there, or we can say write down the correct linker there. Okay students, so students, try this part yourself and beta complete chapter number 11 in your practice book. Okay, that's all for today students. Thanks and have a nice day.